Hey guys, how are you doing in the back?
I'm hungover, it's your fault.
How many beers did you drink last night?
Professional diver Ken Wilson and his employer and close friend Kathy Gorgens run a small tourist resort on the Mexican island of Cozumel.
Hungover as well, aren't you?
We sell fun. You're taking people to do something they love every day. And that's when people are happy. And that's the best time to be around those people is when they're happy.
Ken, tell them about your first dive.
Oh, Kathy, yeah. Well, I used to tend bar in Bonterre.
For Ken, this was a chance to quit his job in construction, to do what he loves best, scuba diving.
It's probably one of the most peaceful things you could do. You're totally weightless. It's almost a form of meditation.
We'd love to take you diving, Ken, but you're wearing your wetsuit on back to front.
Ken is like, I would say, something that you find like a rock and you think, oh, this is pretty, I'm gonna keep it. And then you shine it up and you find out he's a gem.
Today, they're taking 2 of their customers to see the ancient Mayan ruins on the island.
All right, let's check it out. Here we go.
It's the last day of the holiday, and tomorrow they all return to the US.
Hold on.
We had 6 lovely days of diving. On the 7th day, we decided we'll walk around the ruins, work up an appetite, go have breakfast.
Hey, you want a guide? No, no tour gracias. But I'm a good guide. No tour gracias. I'm the best guide ever.
The Mayan ruins are all that remains of a lost civilization that lived on the island over 1,000 years ago.
You just felt like you were in a sauna. It was so hot and so humid, and it was just hard to breathe. And then the mosquitoes were just so bad.
Well, this certainly isn't the one in the picture.
Collapsed and overgrown, the ruins are a far cry from the magnificent Mayan structures Ken had imagined.
Let's go a little further and see what we can find.
You know what? You guys go ahead. I'll wait for you here.
You sure you'll be okay?
Ken, I'll be fine.
We began to work our way out through the ruins, and of course now it's about 11 o'clock and the heat's really building up.
Look, Ken, I'm sorry, I'm going back.
It's not long before the other 2 have also had enough of the oppressive heat.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Me neither.
I said, well, I'm going to walk on about another 15 minutes. And I probably should have stayed with them,
Located in the center of the island, the ruins are surrounded by hundreds of kilometers of thick, impenetrable jungle.
At that time, there wasn't any signs, there wasn't any markers, and it was pretty grown up.
Ken is determined to find the ruin pictured on his ticket receipt. But he's having no luck, so he decides to head back.
I need to get back. Catherine's hot. She needs to leave. We need to go back and get something to drink.
But it's not as easy as he thinks. All the paths look the same.
So I crossed yet another intersection, then another intersection. It became a little confusing about which fork of this I was taking, so I began to explore off this branch, and I would come to the next intersection, and this is not familiar.
The network of Mayan pathways that centuries ago linked one building to the next is now an overgrown maze. And Ken is lost in the middle of it.
I'm sorry, guys. This is really unlike Ken.
Half hour goes by, 45 minutes go by. Now my intuition's kicking in. It's going, there's something wrong. Ken's not like this. This is out of his character.
The sun's directly overhead. I have no sense of direction, what's east, west, north, south. And now I'm really starting to get charged up. I need to rely on a little bit of adrenaline to get me where I need to go. And at that point, that was a state of panic.
Then all of a sudden, an hour goes by, an hour and a half, and I said, that's it. There's something wrong here.
Kathy!
We don't hear him. So I said, let's go back to the entrance. Maybe he's waiting for us back there.
What was that?
Then I heard this real faint call.
That's Ken. That's gotta be him. Ken! Ken, we're over here!
Kathy!
And I said, you guys hear that? And they said, no, what? And I said, just listen. Let's just sit here for a minute. Just listen. So we all listened. And then all of a sudden, we heard that call. I said, see, did you hear that? Yeah, I did. Call back. I know that's Ken. He's lost.
I heard him call back.
Thinking he can make out the direction of Kathy's voice, Ken makes a fatal error.
And made the decision to leave the paths and go straight through the jungle to where I heard the noise.
Ken thinks he's heading straight for Kathy, but he's been deceived. The thick jungle has distorted her screams, and every step he takes is leading him away from her and deeper into Cozumel's dark heart.
Kathy!
Kathy can no longer hear Ken's cries.
And now I'm really concerned. He's lost. He's going further away.
So whenever I didn't hear a response from the last call, it really gave a sort of sinking feeling.
Kathy!
He's hopelessly lost in one of the deadliest environments on Earth. Interesting. Exhausted, after 80 hours of blindly running through the jungle, Ken remembers the #1 rule, should you get lost.
You know, they always say the best thing to do is stay put. Just stay put, somebody will find you.
Almost immediately, his prayers seem to be answered.
There has to be some kind of search going on. I decided I'm gonna climb up this tree and I'll be able to flag down this helicopter that I can hear in the distance. I'm gonna wave them down with this flag. They'll for sure be able to see me.
The helicopter is definitely searching the jungle. Kathy's come through for him.
Hey, I'm over here! Hey, over here!
And I see that they're gonna start searching this area, and here I am. I'm gonna be out of here. It's over now.
Look down now! Here! Guys, look!
And I'm thinking, oh, this is great. They brought in some kind of American search team. I'll be out of here lickety-split.
Look down! Come on! Look down! I'm here! Come on! Come on, please!
I can see this lady inside the helicopter with white tennis shoes with laces. She's wearing gold-rimmed glasses, has blonde hair.
Hey, come on!
I can see every detail. If I would have had a rock in my hand, I could have hit the lady inside the helicopter. I was that close.
I'm below you!
It was like a for sure moment I was going to be found.
That's it! Yeah, that's right! Come on! Look down! I'm here! Come on!
But it's not Kathy.
The lady is talking to somebody on the other side, and it just keeps going.
Come back! Come back! I'm here, goddammit! Guys! Come back! Ah! Ah! Come on!
The rescue team haven't seen him.
I'm reliving this in my mind over and over again. I just can't believe this just happened. It was just devastating.
Ken has decided to stop trying to walk out of the jungle, sit tight and wait for another chopper. But staying still makes him easy prey.
So I would be just covered with mosquitoes in the night. I would cover myself up with 60, 70 leaves like a blanket to try to keep these mosquitoes away. And that would work great for about 5, 7 minutes till the mosquitoes would find their way through these leaves. I had to jump up and just be totally aggravated and start slinging leaves around and just repeat the process every 10 or 15 minutes, every night. And it was the only way I could keep the insects and the mosquitoes from just eating you alive out there.
Over the following days, Ken stays in the clearing, desperately searching for food and water.
I found these plants that are growing in the tree limbs, and they're holding their own water. I looked inside, there's a small snail, there's a little frog in there. It was like, okay, this water is really bad. So now I scavenged the whole side of the clearing looking for these plants because there's just not enough water, and I'm really parched. I was sitting there dreaming about snow cones and popsicles. If someone were to walk out here and try to sell me a snow cone, how much would I pay for it right now? I think I got up to about $800.
But Ken's daydreams are a dangerous distraction. He needs to stay focused on survival. Each day, the distant sound of search aircraft torments him. He has no way of catching their attention.
They would come in over the jungle and then kind of shut their engines off to an idle and go to stall speed as they would try to peer into the trees to find me.
Ken knows they can't see him through the dense jungle canopy. To make matters worse, he can't find the 2 liters of water a day his body needs, and he's starving. He hasn't eaten more than a mouthful of fruit in 8 days.
I mean, my body's turned on itself now, and it's feeding on my fat and my muscle, and I'm really starting to lose weight.
The jungle is winning. Ken is losing his grip.
I'm in a situation where I'm not talking to another human being, which, if you really stop to think about it, is not normal. How many days does the average person go through and never talk to anybody, never hear a voice on the radio, never talk to anybody on the phone? I mean, it's not a normal situation.
Ken fears he'll lose his mind, and with no sign of any more helicopters, he decides he has to get moving and save himself.
I've wasted 4 days sitting here now. I'm just gonna have to get up and walk.
He's heading straight through the jungle maze, hoping to hit a path or road. In the last 13 days, all he's had to keep him alive are a few rancid fruits and dribbles of water sucked from plants.
I was thinking all the time that this could go on forever, that I'm never gonna get out of here. I know I can't last forever. Eventually I would die, but I can't let myself dwell on that.
Dehydration is tearing Ken apart.
I know I need to eat, but the first call is for water. My body's saying it needs water.
He's so desperate, he's forced to drink stagnant, dirty water.
And as I'm dipping my camera bag to use as a filter to try to filter out some whatever contaminants could be in this water, I see a small lizard. And this little lizard's about 4 inches long. I could just swallow it whole. I started to swallow him whole, and then he got stuck in my throat because it was still alive. So then I killed him. He ended up being, I guess you could call that a meal.
Desperation is pushing Ken to a place he's never gone before. Fantasy and reality are starting to blur.
I began to build these elaborate scenarios about what was going to happen when I walked out of here.
Taxi!
I had this credit card, and I was going to get a taxi. I was going to buy some clothes and get to a hotel.
Hey, take me into town, please.
I'll get that, Ken.
And it isn't just Ken's mind that is unraveling. His body is falling apart too.
It was mostly my legs that were cut up from going through the brush. Those sores on my ankles weren't healing. I was beginning to be very concerned about if they were going to get infected or not. I found out that I've got these scabs on the upper part of my leg that are beginning to heal because they're dry. So I began to take some of the dry scabs and use them as Band-Aids to patch some of the wounds around my ankle. It was kind of like a Band-Aid.
Ken's situation is desperate. Lost, alone and weak. He's being pushed to the edge of sanity.
This helicopter all of a sudden pulls up. There's some kind of loudspeaker in there, and I can hear what they're saying.
Mr. Wilson, you're a truly amazing man.
This is not right at all. There is something wrong here. And I start to hear the national anthem from the United States.
Ken is desperately trying to keep his body together. But after 2 weeks alone in the jungle, he's slowly losing his mind.
I'm calling room service, I'm filling up the bathtub, and from there on, I don't care what happens, but that's gonna be my fantasy.
Just leave it on the table.
He's increasingly drifting off into a dream world, from which he might never wake up.
It was just so many weird things that, and I'm beginning to wonder if it's something within my own mind that is keeping me here.
After 15 days of mental torture, it's all Ken can do just to stay alive.
My body needed water so bad, it could never think anything but quenching my thirst. It's a very strange feeling, this stress from not being able to drink, not being able to eat, not being able to find your way out.
Ken no longer worries about being rescued. Instead, he spends his time catching flies that bite him and feeding them to ants.
And from the stress, there was some sort of relief by watching ants eat these flies. It was a revenge.
But, like the flies, Ken is now part of the jungle's food chain, and his own dying body will soon be its next meal.
The vultures I began to see 2 or 3, then there was 4 or 5, the next day there might have been 5 or 6. I began to use the vultures as a way to try to signal somebody. And I would kind of lay down and twitch a little bit to act like I was something that was dying to try to get the vulture's attention, to get them attracted to, and that was a way to signal somebody by air, because I had no other means to do so. But it just didn't work out like that. It was another disappointment. I realized I was gonna die there.
Entire days pass by. Instead of trying to find a way out of the jungle, Ken's becoming part of it.
Now my clothes are nothing but shreds. I haven't shaved in 2 or 3 weeks. You know, I'm matted with dirt. I have no shoelaces.
Ken is still only alive thanks to occasional mouthfuls of stagnant water. He's physically and mentally broken.
I could already be dead, and I don't know it. What if I died 3 days ago and my spirit is here wandering around, and this is my destiny of eternity, is to wander around in this jungle? You begin to think, I'll never get out of here.
After 18 days missing, even Ken's friend Kathy is starting to doubt he can still be alive.
I'm really to the point, like, this is getting hopeless. I mean, it hurts so bad to think that this guy could possibly die.
I just laid down and I dozed off a little bit. In a few minutes, I woke up and there was a woman standing there holding a baby. Some people say that whenever people are lost, sometimes they'll see the Virgin Mary. It gave me such an adrenaline rush when that happened. It gave me more confidence. I'm going to walk out of here. I'm going to walk out of here. I kept visualizing that in my mind over and over and over again. I wasn't going to sit down and die. I was going to keep walking until I died. And if I couldn't walk anymore, I was going to crawl until I got out of the jungle. This is like one of the first things I've seen of civilization since I've been lost. Say I was hallucinating, maybe I could have been, but it seemed all way too realistic. Once I had came out there, I knew exactly where I was because I'd been there before. Right at the beach in Cozumel, the north end of the island. I was ecstatic. I'm not lost anymore. I made it out alive.
After 20 days fighting crippling hunger, dehydration, sleep deprivation, and jungle predators, Ken is finally safe.
He had his hair packed, like spiked with mud, big cuts and scratches, and just looked like he's just been chewed up.
I felt really bad because she started bawling, and that made me start bawling.
The tears were just rolling. We just couldn't let go for 10 minutes. I mean, we were just so thankful he was alive.
It really brought us really close.
Ken's recovery took 6 long months.
Bolivia, South America. In November 1981, 3 backpackers traveled to the remote outpost of Azriamis in the Amazonian jungle. Yossi Ginsberg is a 22-year-old from Israel, fresh out of national service with the Israeli Navy.
The reason why I came to South America was one reason. It was very clear to me. I wanted an adventure. I was very, very naive, bright-eyed, open to the world. Everything is possible.
With Yossi is Kevin Gale, an experienced traveler. He's a 29-year-old photographer from Oregon.
I was traveling, I had an agent in New York, and I was sending my shots to him. So I had motivation to try to have some shots published. And of course I was thinking maybe I'll publish some in National Geographic, but it was primarily for myself that I was doing this.
With Kevin and Yossi is Markus Stamm, a 29-year-old school teacher from Switzerland.
Marcos and I had been great friends. We'd been traveling off and on together for 8 months. He was going through a crisis. A relationship had just broken up and he was falling apart. And he just wanted to escape.
The 3 friends have spent months backpacking around South America. But now, a charismatic Austrian, Karl Ruprechter, has drawn them to Azriamis with the promise of a real adventure. He will take them into the uncharted rainforest to meet a lost tribe of Indians, never before seen by Western eyes.
Whoa, lousy map. No detail, the whole of Bolivia on one map. Look, I marked the field. See that? That's where we are now. We cross the Tuichi River. We cut the trail for 4 days, and we end up at the village. And then you see the real Indians.
There was an X with a pen. Carl said, the Indians are there. We had no reason not to believe him.
He told us that he was a geologist, that he had been in South America for 15 years, that he'd been in the jungle numerous times. He was an expert in the jungle. So I had no reason to doubt his word.
Listen, it's gonna be tough, but we'll go in together and we'll come out together. Agreed?
Yeah. Okay.
Good. Let's do it.
Step, guys.
As we set off from Asariamas, we started seeing, like things were changing, and we weren't exactly the same people already. And I think the reason for it was that we knew we're leaving civilization behind, and this is it, just the four of us.
The friends follow their guide into the rainforest. Ahead of them lies a week-long hike to the Indian village. From there, Carl has told them they will return to civilization by rafting down the Tuichi River.
It was a different world, and we could hear animal life all over the place. Monkeys were howling, screaming, and I could see birds, numerous varieties, all over the place. It was like a picture.
We don't have food because Carl sensibly is saying we wouldn't carry, like tins and stuff. There's lots of game, so we'll hunt. That's what you do in the jungle. All we have is rice, beans, and salt. That's all. The rest comes from the jungle. But what we kill is not so pleasant.
To the pot! To the pot!
It's gruesome. And Carl waves it in the end and screaming, and you see the wilderness in his eyes. He's his element. He loves it.
You've killed it. You've murdered it. You can't do that. What? There's no law here. This is Bolivia. You take care of him. We're gonna eat well tonight, Kevin. Hey, Marcus, pick up my gun.
Marcus wouldn't bring himself to eat. We're killing to eat. Marcus thinks, can we save that monkey?
It didn't make any sense, because we were in the jungle, we were in this environment, and those things happen. And he was just oversensitive about everything.
Carl is not so tough.
What would you know about it, Yossi? You were never in nature like this before?
Well, I was in the military.
Yeah, that was the Navy. This is the jungle. Where's this damn village?
Oh, this is bad, my friend. You gotta be careful with this. You see the saws? They will all open up together in the end, then you've got no skin left. And your feet are kaput.
Guys, I'm sorry.
He said it's tremendous pain. We didn't believe him, because it was part of it. Okay, now he's complaining. He's always complaining. He's always finding a reason to complain.
Marcus should rest. One of you could go now with me to make contact with the village and then come back for Marcus.
The village. You said 3 or 4 days max to get there. It's been more than a week now. Marcus could be here for days.
Hey, you don't believe me? You think I don't know where it is, huh?
Nobody's leaving anybody behind.
So, what do we do, huh?
It wasn't fair to Marcos to continue. I wanted to continue. If Marcos hadn't been there, I would have continued. There's no question about that.
We should go back down to the river. We should build the raft now. Marcus can take it easy on the raft.
What do you know about the river?
I know the river is back that way.
Screw it. It's your choice.
Forced to abandon their dream of visiting the Indian village, the adventurers head back to the Tuichi River. Now they will raft out of the jungle.
My dream had been shattered, and I was very upset. And I knew I wouldn't have another chance. So I was in a pretty foul mood.
I was very upset because my dream, to make contact with the Indians, that dream was gone. And, it was mainly because of Marcus.
But ahead of them lies nearly 100 miles of river before the nearest settlement and the airstrip home.
Immediately, we knew it's a mistake.
Left! Left! Go left!
What left?
Easy, Carl. Good line. We're on the Carl line. We're right on course.
Go deep!
In the rainforest, Carl was the authority, and rightly so. But not anymore, because on the river, Kevin saw immediately that Carl is no authority. It was ridiculous, because Carl didn't know how to swim.
It was very obvious to me that Carl didn't know what he was doing in the raft. And I let him know. I told him that he was doing everything backwards.
Listen to me, we do okay. Carl, nobody's gonna drown. I think we are okay. Maybe it's my imagination.
So now there was like fighting on the raft. They were fighting because Carl said, we have to pull to the left. And Kevin said, nonsense, you have to go to the other side.
Come on, pull you! Whoa.
Carl would scream and curse.
Don't listen to me. Look what happens, huh? What'd I tell you?
Crazy on a river like that, like no cooperation, no friendship. It was hell.
We're pretty close to the canyon.
Huh?
I told you. You gotta forget the raft now. Look. We are here. Almost the Cape Down River. It's the Malpaso San Pedro Falls.
He called us and he said, down from here. It's a canyon, and there's no way. If you're going in, you're dying. There's no way out of it.
So 2 days on the river and you've had enough, huh?
You don't believe me. We gotta walk now. You understand me, Kevin? Look, we walk around the canyon. We stay close to the river. A few K further on, there's a small mining village, Playa. Playa is halfway to San Jose. We get to San Jose, you're as good as home.
Carl said, if you want to live, let's walk. We wanted out. This was a misadventure. It wasn't fun for me either. And Kevin was the only one that was not happy at all.
I wanted to continue. The worst comes to worst, we'll bounce off the rocks and continue. And we'll just continue with our plan. We'll stop before the San Pedro Falls, hike around the falls with our equipment, build a new raft, and then we continue.
We can't let Carl take the river away from us, Yossi. Think about it. Why did we come on this trip in the first place? Carl promised us an Indian village, which was supposed to be the highlight of the whole thing. We never saw it. Was it ever there? All we have left now is rafting on the river, and how long have we had on it? Less than 2 whole days. And no way is Marcus coming. He'll drag us down. We could do it. We could go it alone.
It was a moment I just didn't know what to do. In my guts, I wanted to go with Carl and Marcus. But I already had this relationship with Kevin, Kevin was my hero. Kevin, I chose Kevin, in that split, I chose Kevin. He was my man. So I stuck with him. I said, okay, I'm coming with you.
I felt Marcos was in a very bad place, bad spot. I certainly didn't want to hurt him. I didn't want to make him feel worse, but I couldn't help the guy. My best buddy, and I couldn't help him. We had this wall between us.
But you promised we'd go in together and we'd come out together. This is different. Don't you get it? I don't want you to come. You're not coming. So this is it? Yeah, I guess it is.
In retrospective, how did we do that? How can you split in such an environment, you know?
I know you'll be all right.
Let's get moving.
See you soon, Marco. I see you soon, Carl.
Ah, you'll see. The Aventura. Still haven't had enough, huh? You're full of it, Kevin. You're gonna be fish food, the pair of you.
It was heart-wrenching. It was like a betrayal, and it was a terrible feeling. I really felt ashamed.
It should take little more than a week for Carl and Marcus to hike out to the nearest village. But now Yossi and Kevin face the dangers of the river alone.
Kevin and I went into full excitement into let's the adventure begin. A new chapter, no more 4 people. Kevin became the authority, and I accepted his authority. I guess part of it was an issue of age, but other part was that I didn't know rivers.
All right, get it dead straight. Go. Keeping time with my rhythm.
Almost immediately, we entered a series of roller coaster waves.
Hard your side.
It was a different river.
Paddle hard.
It's becoming much more intense. You know, like the river is getting narrow, the water swifter.
And certainly, it was a bad decision to continue. That was a major mistake.
We're just shooting straight into white water. Both of us were lying on the raft. That was the only thing we could do. Suddenly, it was clear to me that nothing that can prevent us from colliding with this huge rock that was approaching.
And that's what happened. We hit the rock.
All right, Yossi. I want you to listen to me now, okay? We can't stay here. All right? So I'm gonna jump, okay? I'm gonna swim to the shore, and I'm gonna throw you a line.
I don't want him to jump. He tells me why he's jumping, and his plan is completely suicidal. But in that stage, I think not only that it's suicidal, he kills me.
Kevin, no! Kevin! Kevin! Kevin, don't leave me! All right, Yossi, throw me the shoes and the machete!
And I saw the raft teetering back and forth on the rock.
And then at the same time, the raft moves, and I hear that terrible screech. The mass of water just...
Yossi! Yossi, hold on!
He entered the rapids, and I saw him go through 2 or 3 rapids, a couple drops, And around the bend he went, and I didn't see him again.
It's like huge pressure on my chest. And I can feel that, you know, like the power of the river. I'm shooting at such a high speed and deep under the waters. It's like the pressure surmounts. I cannot breathe. I feel this is it. I'm exploding. I'm dying. And I knew this is my end. After a long time in the river, I was spat again into the surface. And that terrible canyon's behind me. How did I pass it? I just don't know. I just have no understanding of it, but I was on the other side.
By a miracle, Yossi has survived. But now, as night falls, he is separated from Kevin by more than 2 miles of river and impassable canyon. The next morning, Kevin starts to search for Yossi.
I decided to go downriver and look for Yossi.
Yossi!
I was responsible for him being there, and I didn't know if he was alive, if he drowned, or if he was hurt.
As Kevin works his way downriver, Yossi struggles back up the canyon towards him.
Kevin, I'm walking up the right bank!
Early morning of the day after this tragedy, this disaster, I hear this scratch, this metallic scratch. Behind the rock, there's a small pool. In the middle there, the backpack is waiting.
Yes!
When Kevin made this bag, he said, "Give me everything important to you, because this is the life bag." He tied 2 empty things to have it float.
The life bag contains vital supplies: a flashlight, a waterproof poncho, a few ounces of rice, and, crucially, the map that promises Yossi's best chance of survival.
I put the backpack on my back, and now with a new spirit, I climbed up thinking that it's gonna be easy now. Kevin and I get together, and it's gonna be over. We've got the equipment. It's gonna be a good story.
After another day of searching, Kevin is less than a mile away from Yossi when he comes up against the canyon walls. He has no choice but to turn away from the river and climb up into the jungle.
I knew that the San Pedro Falls was before me, and I wasn't about to swim through that. So I decided to leave the water and hike into the jungle. Now it's clear that when I was walking behind the ridge or the bluff in the jungle, Yossi was walking upriver, not very far away.
The friends continue to look for each other for days, surviving on little food and almost no sleep. They're unaware that every step is taking them further apart.
Yossi!
The only thing that kind of kept me going was the notion that Kevin is running after me and he will follow me and things will be fine when Kevin comes. I hear that noise, and I listen to that noise because it's so foreign, and I start realizing it's an airplane. I I'm saved. And I know everything now. I know also that Kevin is in the plane. I know it's a plane after me. I know it's Kevin there. And I'm just jumping on my feet and I'm running and I'm screaming.
Kevin! 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 1000!
You know, as soon as I realized this airplane was just oblivious to me, I just collapsed. For the first time, I was defeated. You know, I felt defeated. I knew that so much hope, and they didn't see me, and there's no way they could see me.
Flying just a few hundred feet above in a Bolivian army spotter plane, Kevin shares Yossi's sense of defeat.
I realized that we couldn't see much. And I asked him to fly lower, and he wouldn't. He said it was too dangerous. And on top of that, we were flying in a straight line. He wasn't following the contour of the river. It didn't have a chance to find Yossi this way. I was going crazy. It was very, very frustrating. Like, every day was very important. Time was the key element. And every day that passed, I knew it was another day that Yossi's chances were diminished. They were getting smaller and smaller.
Yossi has now spent 17 days alone in the jungle. Since the floods, he's found nothing but rotten fruit to eat. He is feverish and weak with starvation.
I was famished, I was diseased, I was injured and weak. I started realizing that I don't know what's going on anymore. Maybe I'm becoming insane.
I thought that Yossi wouldn't give up, so I began thinking about the next steps. And I found a fellow named Tico, and I asked him if he could take me up the Tuichi. And he told me that he can, but he has to be back within 3 days. So it's better than nothing, so I said, fine.
Something bit me. It was a strong bite. And I can feel it's like a termite, an ant. And then another bite, and then another bite. And then I attracted a nest of termites. And there were like hundreds of them, and then thousands of them, and I couldn't escape. There was no way I could escape. But the worst horror was the ray of light hitting a red carpet, you know, like everything around me. 5-6 meters around me, everywhere. It was all red and moving. My body was like a colander. There was no place in my body that wasn't bleeding. And I just had to escape now. And I stood on my feet and I kept on walking.
I told him that I want to go as high as possible, up the river as much as possible. I just kept going up and up and up. I didn't want to stop.
The jungle is just the jungle.
On my knees, on my elbows, I'm crawling. Suddenly I started seeing a few things that I recognized, and it was actually Kuriplaya. I went all the way back to that deserted mining camp, but the mining camp wasn't there anymore. The flood took everything. My feet weren't feet anymore. They were like two lumps, two chunks of blood and pus. I gave up. I prayed to God, just allow me to die. All I want is to rest. Let me die.
No podemos seguir. Mira, el río está creciendo de nuevo. Hay rápidos arriba. Siento. No podemos seguir.
I knew that was it for Yossi. It would take weeks, if not a month, to get back to the jungle. And there's no way that he could survive another month in the jungle. And I just felt this heavy feeling, and this sense of loss, and this terrible sense of guilt that I'd caused his death.
I clearly heard a buzz, like a bee or a wasp, and it's like coming closer, and I can start hearing it circulating my head. So, you know, I'm already in like the zone of like delirium. I'm just trying to get rid of that wasp, and it's so strong, that noise. In a certain point, I think maybe it's trapped inside the mosquito nets. And I raise my head and I just try to get rid of that wasp, and the buzz is in my ears. And as I raise my head, and I don't see the wasp, but when I turn my head, right there on the beach, I see shades and people. I mean, it's like at that stage, I don't know what's going on. Just, you know, like Kevin, like a flesh is already there, and I'm collapsing in his arms, and we just hold each other and hold each other. It's now just emotion. We cry and cry and cry.
I couldn't believe it that we'd found him. If he would have been upstream, just 100 yards away, he wouldn't have heard us. We wouldn't have seen him. I mean, it's literally 1 in a million.
My life was spared. I mean, I know Kevin saved my life, but it was a miracle. For sure, it was a miracle.
I think that Yossi saved my life, because if we hadn't found him, if he would have perished in the jungle, I would have had a very heavy burden to bear, knowing that I caused his death. Because I put him in the situation, and I was entirely responsible. So I think that's how I see it.
Yossi and Kevin were safe, but they had yet to find out what had happened to Marcus and Carl, who they'd left to walk out of the jungle 20 days before.
It was a shock to us to discover that there was no trace of Marcus or Carl.
Of course, when I realized that Marcus was lost in the jungle, it was a very heavy feeling.
Kevin went back into the rainforest immediately to search for them, and he couldn't find anything, any sign, any track. So it just evaporated.
The Bolivian army also mounted a search and discovered that the Indian village that Carl had marked on the map did not exist.
They told me that Carl had a history of taking people into the jungle and leaving them. It happened more than once.
They were very, very familiar with Carl, and they said he's a troublemaker, and he found refuge here in Bolivia. And I was shocked.
Over the following years, both Kevin and Yossi mounted searches for Marcus, but no sign of him was ever found.
I don't feel guilt about not taking Marcus with us. Then and even now, I feel that it was the right decision not to allow him to come. But I always thought then, and I probably do occasionally now, that if I would have gone back with Carl and Marcos, if we would have gone back together, that it would have ended differently.
It was a life and death issue, and we decided for him that he should go out. Yeah, we did think, both Kevin and I, we were thinking that what we are doing is more dangerous, if this is an excuse. We were thinking that. Still, we made that decision for him, and he never came back.
Kevin Gale is now a fitness instructor and photographer living in Israel. He is married to Orna, an Israeli he met while searching for Marcus and Carl. Yossi Ginsberg is now a writer and a motivational speaker, and has done much to preserve the Amazonian jungle. He lives in New South Wales, Australia,